Professor Greg Herring, visiting assistant professor for sport management here at York. I spent 12 years in college athletics, generating revenue through sports marketing, ticket sales, and sponsorships. Most recently, before coming to York this year, I was at Radford University as the associate athletic director for external affairs for about 16 months, where we doubled the sponsorship revenue from year to date, but had a 400% plus increase on their impact of the revenue for a 3-year span by signing multiple year agreements. Well, I think you have to look at qualifying your leads first. I mean, you've got, not everybody is a sponsor. Just because they have a proximity to a campus, in this case, a golf course, doesn't necessarily make them a sponsor. There has to be a need or a want, a desire to maybe be involved, and a good fit. If you can identify those before you make the call, kind of in the back of your mind as to why they should participate, that helps that call go much better. You're never going to sell a sponsorship over the phone. You're going to need to use that phone call to set up an appointment to go see them, to see when would be a good time to go visit them in person, to be able to explain what it is you're trying to sell them, what's the involvement for them, and different things. Sponsors get up, or businesses get hit up all the time for sponsorships. Everything from the local high school to the civic organization to colleges, obviously. And so they're getting hit up quite a bit. You have to make yourself set apart from someone else. So cold calling them, is fine, but don't try to sell them that first call. Sell them on you and why you should get a visit to come talk with them further, and make sure you're prepared for that call.
Okay.
Well, I think if you're making an initial phone call, you pick up the phone and try and set a meeting. You obviously have to identify who you are and where you're calling from. And so I think obviously in the case of the students, you play on that a little bit. That hi, I'm Zach, and I'm a college student over here at York College of Pennsylvania. I'm very involved with our student association, for sport management, and we're holding upcoming golf tournament. I'd like to have the opportunity to come see you and talk about potential sponsorship opportunities that we have if you have available time. When might be a good time to come see you, or set that time, or what's certain days that you may have on your schedule you're looking at. But you want to play to their schedule as long as you can get there, not skip class or get out of responsibilities.
Right.
But I think you have to play up that you're a college student, you're doing this for your student organization on campus that's help preparing you for, professional life afterwards. Use those things to your advantage. But again, you make sure you're calling the right people that, that may have an interest in supporting college students, or may have an interest in golfers. Don't just call mom and dad's business back home because they're going to do it out of charity, which, again, charity's nice, but people really want to see results if they're going to spend money these days in sponsorship. So, make sure you're giving some opportunity to put their logo in front of people or their product in front of people, and see what you can do from that point.
Okay.
Yeah, I think if you're showing professionalism, as a sponsorship person for a number of years and working with people trying to generate revenue for colleges, I never do it with the phone. I always try to go see their appointment and building that long-term partnership relationship with somebody, because that may be somebody you go back to in your future for this tournament. Maybe a long-time partner. You never know. So doing that, it sets you apart from whatever other group that's fundraising. Hey, we're looking for a sponsor for our 3-on-3 tournament for YMCA, or we're looking, set up an appointment, be professional on the phone. This is not talking to your mom and dad or your friends down the street. This is imagine you're talking to a prospective job, this is a business. This could be your boss someday. Think of it that way. Treat them that manner, and then go see him, and be professional. Make sure you're dressed appropriately when you go see him. Don't just go, out of class in a pair of jeans and a sweatshirt. Make sure you're dressed appropriately. Lay out what it is you're trying to get them to do. Show them all the opportunities and show them why. Ask open-ended questions. Don't ask closed questions that'll only answer with yes, no, fine, maybe. Get them to talk more about their business. Again, things we get into in our sales class is the 80-20 rule. Listen 80% of the time, only talk 20. Let them tell you about their business and what some of their goals are, what their interests are, and see if you can't, find the needs that way. Just because they say they can't afford it doesn't really mean they can't. It's just trying to get you off the phone quickly.
Right.
If you've not given them any prices at that point, then they don't know if they can or can't afford it. And so until they understand what you're fully selling, it'd be tough to. So my recommendation would be to simply, try to overcome that objection with I understand how times are tough and with the economy and budgets and things, but we do some very, very affordable packages that are, as small as X dollar amount, and ranging all the way to certainly more. Do you still feel that $50 or whatever that low end sponsorship dollar is still too much for you for your budget at this time? Certainly, that might help steer the direction of, oh, it's that little? Okay, we can do that. Or, yeah, I still don't have to go out my budget. And I think partly because that's the case, they're either probably still trying to get rid of you, or that may be such a small mom and pop type shop that they really don't budget for any kind of marketing or sponsorship opportunities. So you may have really picked the wrong sponsor to get involved. Never leave sales in the hands of somebody else because they're never going to do it for you. Um, you need to get the way how to contact the manager. If they're there, especially try to call that and try to get a hold of them right there on the spot, and then set up a time that you go visit them. If they're not in that time, is there a number I could reach them at? Is there a better time which you do anticipate them to be in? Ask questions so you can make sure that you can be successful and that you can make contact with that individual personally. If by chance you leave multiple messages and can never really get a hold of that individual, I have used the drop by tactic where you know they're going to be there. You try to make an appointment. You try to just swing by to catch them an off hour, but be respectful because sometimes those places if you're calling upon restaurants, you use your knowledge of they're most busy at lunchtime. They're most busy at dinner rush from 4:30 or 5 o'clock on. So you don't want to go at noon and ask the manager to come out and speak with you then, or even calling during that time. It's not a great time to get them. If you're calling a restaurant, you're going to usually be most effective in calling them, mid to late afternoon while they got things done. Or first thing in the morning, 10:30 when they're preparing to open up for a lunch rush. Same thing with businesses. You're likely going to get somebody in the morning hours than you are in the afternoon, because the majority of people have meetings in the afternoon or off-site type thing, so they're not going to be available until late in the afternoon, or if at all. Well, I think to address the issue of why should I support your organization, whether they have their child in college or they're a fan of another school or whatever it might be, it's simply you have to have the knowledge of stating, well, especially if the college question comes up, well, my child's in college as well. Well, then you turn around and say, well, then you understand how tough it is for us as college students to find ways to raise money to continue our education and do things that we do through our organization and such. So I think you also got a sympathetic ear that you have to take advantage of. I think that really helps. I think what you do is you go ahead and send them information, but you agree to send them information ahead of the meeting, but go ahead and schedule that meeting while you have them on the phone. You have them. Right. Otherwise, you may never get them again. That your email, your hard copy, snail mail may actually be, just lost in their inbox or on their desk and never gotten back to you in time. And so then trying to follow up with them, they may not remember you. They may play dumb. You may or may not ever get them on the phone again. So you've got them. So that appointment of, yep, we have sent to you in advance of our meeting. Now, while I have you, can we go and get that meeting set up on the record and see what your schedule is for the future? They still don't know. Push a little bit. Whether you're using some time of, well, this is really urgent that we get this moving so we can guarantee that you're a part of this, or our tournament's coming up quickly. We want to make sure we have things locked in and provide the opportunities. And we don't want you to miss out on the opportunity as we move forward with other potential clients. Whatever it may be, you want to push a little bit, but not to the point where you're being annoying and rude.
Right.
But simply, you've got them. Don't let them go. Try to get that meeting set up in advance, but feel free to send them information in advance that they have a chance to look at and review before you get in. That may actually help your process when you get there, because they may already have in their mind what they can or can't do. You have to be able to articulate why the golf tournament is important. What does it do? Why do you need sponsors to run this golf tournament? What's the purpose of the golf tournament? And all the advantages it does and provides for students. That's really what you have to get across in the situation, not just,
We need your money.
will you support us? Yes, no, okay, thanks, and walk out. Sell them on the importance of this. I mean, hopefully every student that's out there doing this project is passionate about their college, passionate about their learning and wanting to get a job and all the things that SMSA helps you do.
Right.
You're most knowledgeable about it, and you sell what's best. You sell best when you know what you're selling and are passionate about it.